Welcome to my online class. My name is Juwariyah, and in this session we will learn how to perform multiplication of whole numbers. Multiplication is basically the repeated addition of the same number. As you can see in the very first example, we have 2 plus 2. Okay, that means we are adding the number 2 times. Since we are adding the number 2 times, we can write it as 2 times 2. In mathematical form, we can write 2 multiplied by 2. Okay, instead of times, we can write the multiplication symbol. This cross is the multiplication symbol. Now when you add the number 2 plus 2, you will get 4. So 2 plus 2 is equals to 2 times 2 will be equal to 4. Okay? Now let's look at the second example. In the second example, we have 2 plus 2 plus 2. How many times are you adding the number 2? You're adding the number 2 3 times. Okay? So we can write it as 3 times 2. This is equals to 3 times 2. When you add the number 2 3 times, you will get 6. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 is equals to 3 times 2 will be equal to 6. Okay? Now let's move on to the third example. In the third example, you have the number 2. How many times are you adding the number 2? 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're adding the number 2 4 times. So you can write it as 4 times 2. When you add the number 2 4 times, you will get 8. Now in the fourth example, we have 3. How many times are we adding the number 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You're adding the number 3 7 times. So we can write it as 7 times 3. When you add all these numbers, you will get 21. We can conclude that the multiplication is the repeated addition of the same number. And this cross is the multiplication symbol. Now let's do some examples for multiplication. The very first example that we have is multiply 2 and 3. From the table you can easily see that 2 times 3 is equals to 6. Hence the product of 2 and 3 is 6. Hence this is the final answer. Let's look at the second example. The second example is find the product of 14 and 2. As we did in addition and subtraction, the first thing that we will do is to mark place values of the numbers. Okay? 2 is 1-digit number and 14 is a 2-digit number. So this is units, this is unit and 10. Now we will write it in vertical form, tens, units, 14 and 2. You will start to solve from the unit side. The first thing that you will do is you will multiply the number 2 with 4. This is the first step that you need to do. So the first step is you will multiply 2 with 4. From the table you can see that 2 times 4 is 8. So you will write 8 here. Next you will multiply the unit digit at the bottom to the tens digit at the top. So you will multiply 2 with 1. This is the second step. So you will multiply 2 with 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. Hence you can write 2 here. Thus the product of 14 and 2 is 28. 14 times 2 is 28. Now let's look at the third example. Find the result of 16 times 4. You will mark place values. 4 is a 1-digit number, so you will only write units. 16 is a 2-digit number, so you have units and tens. Write it in vertical form. You have tens and units. 16 and 4. Okay? Now again, the first step that you will do is you will multiply the unit digit at the bottom to the unit digit at the top. From the table, you can easily see that 4 times 6 is 24. How many digits does this number have? This number has 2 digits. This is units and this is tens. If you remember from the carry addition method, we always put the units digit in the answer space. Okay, this goes to the answer. And the tens digit is always carried. We will do the same thing with the multiplication. We will write 4 in the answer space. So we can write 4 here. And the number 2 will be carried onto the next place value. We can carry 2 over here. The second step is the unit digit at the bottom will be multiplied to the tens digit at the top. So 4 will be multiplied with 1. 4 times 1 is 4. Now what we will do with the number that is carried? We will add this number onto the result. So we will add 2 to 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. We will write 6 here. Let me repeat. What we will do is we will multiply the number 4 with this number, and after we multiply 4 times 1, we will add 2 to the result. Okay? That's how we obtained 4 plus 2 is equals to 6. Alright? So the result of 16 times 4 is equals to 64. Now let's do the fourth example. Find the product of 12 and 13. You can see here that both 12 and 13 are 2-digit numbers. Okay? So how do we multiply two 2-digit numbers? You will first mark place values, units and tens, units and tens. Now write it in vertical form. You will write tens and units. So this is 12 and this is 13. We will multiply it. So the first thing that we will do is we will multiply the units digit on the bottom number with the units digit on top. So this is 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So we have 6 here. Next, you will multiply the unit digit at the bottom with the tens digit at the top. Okay? So we have 3 times 1 is equals to 3. So we have 3 here. Now you can see that we have tens digit in the bottom number also. This was not in the previous examples, but we have it in this example. So how will you solve it? You will put a cross here. Why? Because when you multiply the units digit, you will start from the unit side. You will start writing your result on the units place value. But since we are multiplying the tens digit on the bottom number, we will write values from the tens place value. This is units and this is tens. So since we are multiplying the tens digit here, we will start from the tens place value. Okay? So let me quickly rub this. Now it will be more clear to you. So what we will do is we will first multiply the tens digit on the bottom number with the units digit on the top number. Okay? So we will first multiply 1 with 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. We will write 2 here. Next, what we will do is we will multiply the tens digit on the bottom to the tens digit on top. So we have 1 times 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So we have 1 here. Now what you will do is you will add both rows. Okay? You will add 36 with 120. Now there are two things that you can do. You can either put a cross here or you can put 0. Both mean the same. When you add these two numbers, you will consider cross as 0. So you will read it as 6 plus 0 is 6. Okay? So 6 plus 0 is 6. Then we have 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. And then we have 1. So the result of 12 times 13 is 156. Okay? Now let's do another example in which we multiply two two-digit numbers so that you get more practice. In this example, we will multiply 46 with 15. Again, the first thing that you will do is mark place values. So you have units, tens, units, and tens. Now write it in vertical form. We have tens and units. So we have 46, 15, and multiplication sign. So the first thing that we will do is we will multiply the unit digit at the bottom with the unit digit at the top. That is 5 times 6. From the table, you can easily see that 5 times 6 is 30. Again, this is a two-digit number. So we mark place values, units, and tens. The units digit goes to the answer, and the tens digit is carried. So we have 0 here, and we will carry the number 3 here. Now the next step is you will multiply the unit digit at the bottom to the tens digit at the top. So we have 5 times 4. 5 times 4 will be 20. After multiplying the number 5 with 4, what we have to do is we have to add 3 to the result. Okay? So we have 5 times 4 is 20. Now we will add 3 to 20. So we will get 23. So here we can write 23. Now the next step is to multiply the tens digit to the number at the top. So in order to avoid confusion, I will erase these. And now we will multiply the number 1 with 46. Okay? So the first thing that we have to do is to put a cross on the unit side so that we start writing our values from the tens place value. Okay? So now we will multiply 1 with 6. So 1 times 6 is 6. We will write 6 here. And then we will multiply 1 with 4. So 1 times 4 is 4. We will write 4 here. The last thing that you need to do is you have to add both rows. Okay? You have to add 230 with 460. So add it. 0 plus 0 is 0. 3 plus 6 is 9. And 2 plus 4 is 6. We can conclude that the product of 46 and 15 is 690. Okay? Now let's look at the multiplication of 3-digit numbers. Okay, so let's multiply 318 with 509. The first thing that you have to do is you have to mark place values. So this is units, tens, and hundreds. Again, units, tens, and hundreds. Now write it in vertical form. So you have 100, 10, unit, 318 times 509. the first thing that we will do is we will multiply the units digit at the bottom with the number at the top. Let's multiply 9 with 8. 9 times 8 is 72. Again, you can see that this is a 2-digit number, and we already know that the units digit goes to the answer and the tens digit is carried. We will write 2 here and 7 will be carried here. Next, we will multiply 9 with 1. So 9 times 1 is 9. And then you will add 7 to the answer. Okay? So then we have 9 plus 7 is equals to 16. This is a 2-digit number. We have units and tens. This goes to the answer and this will be carried. We will write 6 in the answer space and we will carry the number 1 onto the next place value. In this case, we will carry the number to hundreds place value. Again, we will multiply 9 with the number 3. So we have 9 times 3 is 27. And then we will add the number 1 that was carried to the result of multiplication of 9 and 3. Okay? So 27 plus 1 is 28. Here we will write 28. Now the next thing that you have to do is you have to multiply the number 0 with the number 318. Okay? So let me quickly erase all these marks. Now since we are multiplying the tens digit at the bottom to the numbers at the top, what we will do is we will mark a cross sign on the unit side. Okay? Now we will multiply 0 times 8. 0 times 8 is 0. Any number multiplied with 0 will always be 0. Okay? Then 0 times 1 is also 0. 0 times 3 is also 0. Alright? Now what you have to do is you have to multiply the 100 digit at the bottom number with the digits at the top. Okay? So again I will erase these marks. Since you are multiplying the hundreds digit, you have to start writing the values from here. Okay? Now in order to do that, what you will do is you will put cross here and here. Okay? So we will put cross here and here. Now we will multiply 5 with 8. So 5 times 8 is 40. We have units and tens. The units digit goes to the answer space and 4 will be carried. So we will write 0 here and 4 will be carried on to the tens place value. Okay? Next thing we will do is we will multiply 5 with 1. So 5 times 1 is 5. And then you will add the number that was carried. So 5 plus 4 is 9. So here we will write 9. Next, we will multiply the number 5 with the number 3. So 5 times 3 is 15. So we will write 15 here. The last step is to add all these rows. Okay? We will add 2862 plus 0 plus 159000. So we have 2 plus 0 is 2. We always treat cross as 0 in multiplication. Okay? This one is the multiplication symbol and this will be treated as 0. It's your choice if you want to write 0 here or cross here, it doesn't matter. Then we have 6 plus 0 we have 6. 8 plus 0 is 8. 2 plus 0 is 2 and 2 plus 9 is 11. So we have 2 plus 9 is 11. Here we have 2-digit numbers. This is units, this is tens. So unit digit will be written here in the answer space. and 10th digit will be carried here. Then we have 1 plus 5 is 6, and then we have 1. Okay? Hence, the result of multiplying 318 with 509 is 161862. This concludes the session for multiplication of whole numbers. Thank you so much for watching.